There is no time for peace, no respite, no forgiveness. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
Hello, today I'm providing you with an introduction to the hobby of Warhammer 40,000. The long-standing miniature range produced by Games Workshop and the game that accompanies it has been around for more than 25 years and is a fan favourite amongst many hobbyists. Let's find out why.
There are many different aspects about it which can be compelling. The modelling of miniatures, painting them, building an army and devising strategies for the tabletop, and learning about the lore of the fantasy universe in which the game is set. This hobby is the perfect home for both role-playing, tabletop gaming and crafting.
So how did you get started in the hobby?
I just a couple of my friends started playing before I did, and I quite looked at the Space Marines.
Okay. What would you say is the best part about it?
Gameplay, definitely gameplay.
Okay.
I enjoy all different battles you can have. Painting I want to get into, but I'm quite terrible at it, so I get a bit bored quite quickly.
Okay. How do you like the modelling of it and stuff as well, like constructing the models?
Oh, it's great. Just the different types of models. Just it's really cool how they managed to put them together now.
Oh, that's fantastic. What do you think brings people to the hobby? What do you think attracts people?
I don't know. Building, painting. I mean, it's a great load of people that are here as well, so good social place to come along to.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, and finally, what kind of play style do you tend to adopt?
Normally a defensive one. Stay at the back and just keep shooting.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your time then.
No problem.
Now that we know a bit more about the models, I'm going to show you how actually playing the game works. It's very simple. Each player controls an army comprised of squads of miniatures, such as soldiers, vehicles or creatures. Almost all the game's conflicts and actions depend on the roll of dice to determine the outcome. However, the physical distance between pieces, measured in inches, is also very important. The game is turn-based, and each player will take it in turns to move their units, declare targets for shooting, and assault their enemies in close combat, in that order. Right. First, I move them forward 6 inches. Once I'm done moving, I declare the target for my shooting phase. All combat in this game comes down to some dice rolls. First rolling to see if the attack hits the target, then seeing if it wounds, followed by the enemy trying to save the blow with their armour. If any casualties are suffered, this will affect the morale of the unit and can force them to either pass a dice roll or retreat. So, I shoot at the enemy.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, so, because they have quite a good accuracy, they require just a 3 to hit. We then take the remaining dice and try to wound the enemy. And because they have quite poor armour against my weapons, it requires a 4 to wound them. So that means that all but we have 5 wounds. Now the opponent has a chance to save themselves. Okay, with this he's saved all but one of my shots. So one guy is unlucky and we remove one as a casualty. Once the shooting is finished, if I'm close enough to the enemy, I can charge into close combat with them. This is worked out in a similar way to shooting, but it requires a few things extra to remember. Both players control their models, and the player who has the models with the higher initiative gets to strike first. So in this case, it will be these guys. So we'll roll them first. Okay, to hit will be a 4-up because they're on equal pegging. This means there's quite a number of hits left. And now we roll to wound in a similar way. It's still a 4-up. Okay, this means that most of them have still hit. I've still wounded them. And now I get to take my armor saves against them. And see how many survive the attack. Okay, with this I have lost 4 men to their initial charge. So after that I remove my 4 men, and the remaining fighters will get their attacks back at the enemy. They roll to hit on a 4, but most of them miss. Those that have hit roll to wound, and only 2 have been wounded, so the enemy makes his saves, and he has lost 1 man. And that would be the end of my turn. The opponent would then take their turn to do the similar movements of moving the units, shooting at the enemy and assaulting them if possible. And it goes in a number of turns, usually up to about 5 or 6 turns, to see who is the victor by the end of it. Usually on a much larger scale than this, but this is just a demonstration. And that's basically how it's done. Of course, in a full game, there are a lot more rules to consider, and many different armies have different playing styles, but that's basically how it's done. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been an informative presentation about the hobby of Warhammer 40,000. Thank you.